The much anticipated arc-tempered Rey Dau is finally here, and with it we have our first Gamma armor set. And boy am I happy to share it with you all, as it may be changing up the meta for Monster Hunter Wilds in some big ways. In today's video I'll be covering the Gamma Rey Dau set, how good it actually is, and the newly introduced set bonus that comes with it that adds a percentage attack buff with unique benefits, as well as talk about how you'll be making builds after this. With that being said, hello everyone, my name is Dark Hero and let's get started. So having just finished farming the Gamma Rey Dau set, which I think looks beautiful by the way, let's go over the different armor pieces and how this is going to change the meta. Starting with the Rey Dau Gamma helmet that has a level 3 decoration slot, weakness exploit level 1, maximum might level 1 and stamina surge level 1. This is actually a very powerful and competitive piece, as it is quite comparable to what was previously the best helmet in the game in the form of the Numinous Crown. That would give you agitator level 1 and recovery speed level 1 with one of each decoration slot. So between these two you kind of have the same level of efficiency. You get one additional level 1 slot with the Numinous Crown, but as you will see in the video, you will actually want to use the Rey Dau pieces because the set bonus you get from it is actually quite powerful. Then the chest piece is fantastic, giving you latent power level 3 and a level 1 decoration slot. Now it's no surprise that the Rey Dau Gamma set has the same motif going for it as the original Rey Dau set that is all about latent power. This one still revolves around the same skill, which you'll be able to max out by just equipping a couple of armor pieces. And seeing as latent power is a level 3 decoration skill and you get 3 levels of it on this chest piece alone, it's quite powerful. And again, very comparable to the Zoshia chest piece, which effectively has 3 levels of decoration when you take into account the decoration slots. So the Rey Dau Gamma chest piece has the slight advantage over this one because of the additional level 1 slot. Now the Vambraces are fantastic for quality of life, as they give you evade extender level 2, one of my favorite skills in the entire game, as it can be used both defensively but also quality of life, allowing you to get closer to monsters or having much easier dodges with the dual blades and the bow as you cover much bigger distances. And of course it also comes with 2 level 3 decoration slots, which is fantastic. So when you compare this to the Guardian Arc Valve Vambraces, which I would consider the best Vambraces in the entire game, apart from maybe the original Rey Dau Vambraces, there is a lot of efficiency in these Vambraces right here, which is fantastic. Now as for the waist, it gives you latent power level 2 and maximum might level 2. So by combining the waist together with the chest piece, you're able to max out latent power right away, which in case you aren't aware, latent power gives you 50% affinity and reduces the stamina depletion rate by 50% whenever it is active. Now from my testing, it takes about 1 minute and 50 seconds to activate latent power, but the trick to latent power is that if you take damage, you'll be able to activate latent power much sooner. And it actually works with the Corrupted Mantle, so you'll be able to shave off about 1 minute for the activation time for latent power, thus giving you a much bigger window to take advantage of that huge 50% additional affinity. And of course, the reduced stamina depletion rate is fantastic for weapons that consume stamina and therefore will allow you to more easily maintain maximum might active, which of course maximum might will give you 30% affinity whenever it is active, provided that you're able to maintain your stamina full, though the game gives you a little bit of leeway of about 1 second where you're able to spend some stamina, and if you recover it within that second, you maintain the effect for maximum might. All of that to say that the waist is fantastic and goes very well with the rest of the set and is a very efficient piece. And finally we have the Greaves, and honestly this is the piece that I dislike the most, as it gives you stun resistance level 3, which is a nice defensive skill but never a priority, and stamina surge level 2, which will help with your stamina management but is ultimately not a huge deal. So what it has going for it is a level 3 decoration slot, but when you have the Gormagala Greaves, which are so good because of the 2-piece Gormagala set that give you a level 3 decoration slot with 2 level 1s that you're going to use for antivirus, it's just a much better option, as well as the Guardian Arc Valve or the Zoshia Greaves. So by just having the entire armor set equipped, you end up with latent power level 5, maximum might level 3, stun resistance level 3, stamina surge level 3, evade extender level 2, and weakness exploit level 1. So that equates to about 85% affinity without adding any decoration or any talisman on top, which is very impressive. That said, I do believe that this armor set might just end up becoming one of my favorites, because not only does it look fantastic and you're able to customize it with other pieces for some really cool fashion, but on top of being very efficient with its armor pieces, the set set bonus is where things get really good. So one of the set bonuses of the Gamma Rey Dau set is Rey Dau's Voltage or Thunderous Roar, which has two different levels, one of them being the 2-piece set bonus, and then you have the 4-piece set bonus. Thunderous Roar is going to quite simply extend the activation time of latent power. To put it in other words, the skill latent power would normally last only 2 minutes. However, with Thunderous Roar level 1 or the 2-piece set bonus, that timer is increased to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so a 30-second increase. And then Thunderous Roar level 2 or the 4-piece set bonus would increase the timer to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so more than double of the original time for latent power. Now this set bonus was already present on the base Rey Dau set, but it's important to mention the different durations that you're able to get with latent power so that you can decide for yourself whether it's worth it to go for the 2-piece set bonus and combine it with some other armor pieces, or to go for the 4-piece set bonus. Now the next set bonus that is brand new to the Arc Tempered Rey Dau set that I believe will be shared across all Arc Tempered monsters moving forward is going to be the Lord Soul, aka Guts, and the description of this skill reads: it boosts your attack and lowers your defense, but lets you survive one lethal hit, much like Guts would allow you to do in the previous games, although it didn't come with that attack increase but a defense decrease. However, whenever you take that lethal hit, whenever you were supposed to cart and you end up losing the Guts skill, you will lose that attack boost and in turn you will gain a defense and resistance boost. And the numbers on the Lord Soul are actually pretty impressive, so much so to the point where I do believe that it's going to be worth it to run 3 pieces of different Gamma armor sets to achieve the Lord Soul. So let me show you the numbers. So as you can see, I currently only have equipped 2 pieces from the Gamma Rey Dau set, and I have 230 attack. However, by equipping the 3rd armor piece, therefore gaining the Lord Soul set bonus, you can even see on the top left that I have those additional skill indicators such as the attack increase and the defense down. My attack has increased to 240, and if I now equip the Mizutsune Sword and Shield that has 210 attack, again with only 2 armor pieces, as you can see outside of the tent I have 218 attack, but whenever I equip the 3rd armor piece and activate the Lord Soul, I now have 228 attack, which basically equates to around a 4.5% increase in attack, which is actually a lot that you can get out of a set bonus. And remember, these armor pieces are very efficient by themselves, so being able to get this much raw attack on top of a passive that can guarantee that you will survive a lethal hit is already pretty beneficial. But we haven't even talked about the defense side of this skill. So when you have the Lord Soul active, while you have the approximate 4.5 attack increase, you also have around a 4.5 defense reduction. Although with some sets it seems to be a 5% defense reduction, so the game is probably rounding it up. However, when you lose the Lord Soul effect whenever you take that lethal damage that would cart you otherwise, you then get a 5% defense increase and +3 to all elemental resistances. So overall, the Lord Soul is a pretty fantastic skill that again can provide you with a defensive passive on top of a very powerful attack increase that you cannot get in a lot of these set bonuses, and this might just be the best set bonus that we have available at the moment, apart from Black Eclipse that you get from Gormagala. And so, it might just be that the new meta moving forward is going to be to mix the Gamma Rey Dau pieces with the Gormagala pieces. You might do something like this, where you use the Gamma Rey Dau helmet, chest piece and a waist, together with the Gormagala Vam braces and the Greaves, with an Exploiter charm, and you end up with some really fantastic skills with latent power level 5, giving you a ton of affinity, on top of weakness exploit and maximum might, giving you even more affinity that of course is going to combine with a 25% affinity that you get from the 2 pieces from Gormagala and Antivirus, and you even have room to add skills like bursts to increase your damage, and 2 levels of Coalescence, or potentially even 2 levels of Counter Strike to get some additional attack. Overall, I'm quite impressed with the Gamma Rey Dau armor set. It's not a blatant power creep becoming much better than every other option we have available, but it looks like it's going to be surpassing the meta that has become available at this point, but only by a small margin, which is just the kind of balance that I like to see in this type of game, because I looked back at Monster Hunter World, and in case you guys weren't around, in one of these title updates we got the Draken armor with the Behemoth update, and that set was better than everything else by far. And honestly, I don't want to deal with that sort of balance anytime soon. I like that we still have plenty of variety, and we can go for some additional comfort by going for the Zoshia pieces, for example, or if you want to play with the basic set that is always going to work, you can go for a 4-piece Gormagala. There's plenty of options for you to play with, and I'm very happy with this title update and Arc Tempered Rey Dau. That said, let me know how you guys feel about Arc Tempered Rey Dau. I'm going to be making some videos on the new builds, that I'm very happy to share with you all. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, my name is Dark Hero. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, happy hunting.